Alright, so unfortunately this fourth one was a dead out. It was super weak going in, you know, like there's always a reason. The reason on that one is it was just super weak. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna get a little smoke in there because I want the super DFM, which is the probiotic, to go on top of the bars. Then I'll check the feed. And I'll add the pollen patties. I made these pollen patties myself. Trying to think a little bigger time, so I ordered a 40-pound bag from 40-pound bag from Dayton, and so I made 10 pounds to start. This is my test batch. This is the super DFM. So let's get a little smoke between the boxes, or underneath the. It's actually a Vivaldi board, so underneath the Vivaldi board. Give that a minute. Do one of these pollen patties. I just spilled sugar in here, but that's fine. These are not, they were a little thin. I didn't make them perfect. Next time. It's the first attempt. It was a big one, so I'm thinking I'm going to use the whole patty. So let's see how this pries up. Let's hope it goes up easy. I don't even know if there's bees in here, truth be told. And there are. It's a super small colony. Not a good sign. Alright, so I am going to, yeah, super small. This is just a spacer here. I'm going to get rid of that. Hopefully they're down in the lower box because there's 2.5 or 2 frames, maybe. I'll put this right next to them, and I'm going to get that super DFM. Yeah, that's too bad. They were much better a few weeks ago. We had some cold snaps here in Michigan. It was abnormally warm, then cold again. So they say this super DFM just to spread it out on the top bars. So I'm just going to put it there. And that'll be that. Well, let's check on their sugars. This bag. They got plenty of sugar, so I'm not going to touch that. That's it for them. Get this all lined up so we don't get any air gap. Next one. I better get this out of your way. I have these straps just because these are kind of under the power lines here, and there's critters, so that's why I got these strapped down. Well, there's bees in there, that's good. Now let me get a little smoke in here. It's a nice day. It's going to be 50 for this time of year. Is really good. Let that smoke a bit. Now see, these guys did get oxalic acided, but I tried to wait an hour so they wouldn't be super frisky. We'll see. Alright, I'm going to move this over here like this again. I get rid of that bar, so I don't need it. I don't know where I just put my, where did I just put, oh, there's my hat tool. Alright, this one's small as well. Hopefully they'll get going. Super DFM. There's where the cluster is, right here, right in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. It's supposed to be a tablespoon per hive, so I don't want to short them. And then pollen patty. These guys aren't so big, but I made these pollen patties kind of thin, so they're right next to where they are. And check on their sugars. Here, there we go. I had one of these covers because I have this 2-inch or 1.5-inch foam on here. I had one of these covers that was a little bit off, and it really caused condensation issues. So. Well, they're looking good. Smoke them a little. At least they're not on the upper cover. This one I actually have an inner cover. Most of mine don't have an inner cover. This one looks a little bigger. We'll see unless they're all up top. Almost out of feed though. Almost out of feed. Oh yeah, they're down there and they're over several frames. It's all honey up top still, so actually looking down I see lots of honey. I don't think I'm gonna feed them much more. I'll just get this pollen patty on them. Super DFM. So the Super DFM, I never used it before, but everyone seems to be using it this year. So, I guess monkey see, monkey do. I saw Mike Berry using it, and Bob Binney using it, and a local commercial guy using it. So I figured if everyone, yeah, this has a good 4 or 5 frames of bees, so it's a little better. Well, so far so good. See, this is the foam. I just put duct tape around the edges, and it's just a cheap piece of foam. I know it's not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm forgetting my feeder. Inner cover and feeder. Might as well, even though they got lots of honey left. We'll get them going. I hesitate to put any on because it looked like that top super was all full of honey. But I'll put a little on. I got it. Yeah, so I probably bought 400 pounds of honey this year. I mean sugar. They're eating it, so I'll give it to them. They're taking it. And there was a little bit of this over here. There's a little bit of a winter patty. I saw a little bits of it. Throw that in there. Mega Bee winter patty. The creator of Mega Bee goes to our bee club. So, but great guy, great product. But I had to save some money somehow, so I bought the big bag of the pollen for making my own patties. Alright, that's good. I'm just going to strap them down and this will be done. They're quite a bit, okay, so these ones are quite a bit more lively. When I checked on them a week ago, they were just doing fantastic, so hopefully they're still doing fantastic. And I keep landing on my hands, so I got to put on my gloves soon. But, so I'll be doing the same thing here that I did there. I'll try to get some closer shots. Alright, so I ran out of battery. Now we're going to open this one up and do the same thing we did to the other ones at the other location. So this one's a little harder because I taped it shut for air, which I'll have to break the tape and then retape, but needs to be done. So, Super DFM. Pollen patties are getting a little messy. I'll have to definitely make sure I make them thinner next time. Alright. Let's break this tape. I make all my equipment myself, so it's not always a perfect fit, although they propolis this one good. So it's going to be even harder to pop off. Yeah, these are the Vivaldi boards that I made last year. Often someone will say something in the bee meeting, I'm like, I'm trying that. Here we go. See if the smoker's going. There we go. Alright. I'm going to, they're all crawling out, so we're just going to pop this. But yep, that's a strong hive. See, this would be a good candidate for flipping. Whoa, they're crazy. Alright, that's good. So should I take off the winner? They got the full number of frames. They're probably all in this top box. This is probably a perfect candidate for flipping. I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to unwinterize this one. They got plenty of heat with their bodies. Now this location that I keep at was just someone on Facebook who had a beekeeper here who passed away and wanted someone to do bees in her yard again. So it's a nice location. I keep 5 hives. I'd like to keep 8. I'm going to try to see if she'd be agreeable to that. Alright, so here I have another taped box situation, so I got to break the tape. I really taped this one with like 3 rounds. Yeah, it's looking good. That is what a hive, what you dream of them looking like. The problem is a hive like that can definitely starve. So we'll have to give it food. We'll see how much it weighs. I got honey from this one last year. This top box is light, but that's expected. Oh, and the bottom box, they're in the bottom box. Forget that, we're not rotating. They're right where they should be. So that's that. I don't know if I even want to give them pollen because they have a lot of bees. There's a lot of bees in this hive. And we'll see. Alright, I think I just need to sugar them up. Yeah, look, there's even more. Well, I'll give them a half a patty. But I don't think they need it. But we're hitting some spring this week. The maples are blooming. So definitely don't want them to crash. Right, come on, babies. There you go. Here's that. Now this Vivaldi board's a little different. I have insulated here. I'm going to pull out the vents too. Look at all this is just bees, bees, and more bees. I've actually never had one this strong this early in the year. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a whole 5 pounds of sugar. Try to smoke these down a little bit. They're all over me. I really wasn't planning on them flying out this much today. Alright. But that's a good place to be. Yeah, I'm not wearing a full suit. They could get under my jacket if they're smart. I probably will eventually. They're not stinging my hand. They're definitely landing on it. So I'm just going to give them all 5 pounds. It is close to the... Probably could go 10 pounds in this. It's going to make a mess when I go to clean it, but better that than having them crash. So lots of sugar. Yeah, I'm just curious how much this sucker weighs. Yeah, it's pretty darn light. I'm going to give them another 5 pounds. Truth be told, I could take off the entrance reducer. They're so strong. There we go. 7 pounds, 8 pounds. So we're good on that one. I think I will take off the entrance reducer. Get these guys out of the way. There we go. These boxes are a little bit uneven. There we go. Gotta get them lined up. Yeah. Well, that's sweet. Alright. Oh, we forgot the Super DFM. I'm gonna do it because I paid for it. It's just agitating them more, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give them a super helping. Big tablespoon. There we go. Good enough. Oh my goodness. Alright. Bustling with bees. Next one. Now these ones I do keep straps on. Actually all these ones that were out yards at other people's houses I keep straps on. Not so much at my house. I'll move you so you get a better view. This one's still moving pretty good. Still recording. There we go. Get a good view of that one. Alright. Hoping I have time to do the ones at my house today, but I can do those. Yep, this one's pretty crowded there too. They've got a Vivaldi. See, this was all sugar in here. They're all out of sugar in there. I do have some Vivaldi feeders if they're not as big as the last one, but if they're as big as the last one, that won't do. Take this tape off. I might unwrap this one too. Well, it's kind of early. I'm getting excited. It's only March and we get snow in April sometimes, so. But it was just to get them this far, and they're this far. Now they got enough heat to keep themselves warm, hopefully. If they're as strong as the last one. Not quite as many bees in the top as the last one, but we'll see. Get some smoke in this. Yeah, they look like a lot of bees, but we'll see. Oh yeah, they look good. That's a good 8 frames. Looking just at a quick glance. They're everywhere except for the 2 far frames. This one looks like it's still got honey. A little bit. Still got a little bit of weight. So maybe I'll do this one a little different. I'm going to give them a full pollen patty. Alright, I can get in this. I made these too juicy. Grabbing 2 here. I only want 1. Grabbing 3. Alright, so I'm going to go like this and slide this sucker in. There we go. My Vivaldi board that I made. It Super DFM. My Vivaldi board has a little space, so like a 1/4 inch space, so that'll be good for the. Good. I'll put this back. Yeah, look at all those bees. I should smoke them down a little. This particular deep doesn't have much space. I'm not going to rotate. Rotating, I don't do it. Some people really recommend it. I've done it. Usually a little later in the season. Bees eating off my hand. Alright, so here what I got, this is a feeder, and I actually have a couple of those left. It's just a little insurance sugar. So I'm going to do that. Alright, so how do I get these bees out of here? That's a good question. I don't want them in this feeder because I'm going to block them out. Smoke them around. I'll open up the vents all the way too. So here's the feeder. Oh, look, they're loving me. Alright. That was sarcastic, they're not loving me. So we'll put that there. Now I gotta smoke the rest of these out, pull out these. I just shoved leaves in there in the vents. And then I'm gonna get them a little less ventilation, but they're good. They're doing fine. Alright, I need to smoke all these out. Come on, guys. Can't be here. Almost there. I don't have my brush. Should have my brush. Get out of here. You're almost there. I got like 10 more. At some point I just gotta say, you guys lose the Darwin Award. Close them up in here where they don't get stuck. Because my Vivaldi board, these are screened. Oh, just melted a little bit of my cover. That's as good as it's getting. Alright. This back on here. Oh yeah. What a nice problem to be in. Alright. Let that brick go. I'm going to strap it back down just for good measure. So this one too has, third one has a Vivaldi board. Oh, actually I could put this on there. Probably should. A little burlap for moisture. Let's see if they get out of there now. Nope. Here's honey. Actually I could have used that for getting them out of here. There we go. Get out of here. Alright, just a little bit in there to absorb the moisture. You want to make sure you get all the little threads in there, because otherwise they wick water in there. Alright, good. Good, good. Alright, next. Brick. Look at all that pollen patties got up there. Alright, next one. Let's see how this one's doing. Now they all look, these are freaking amazing. We will have a early split on probably the first two if they don't crash from having being too big too early. I did not give them any pollen before this. Yeah, there's lots of bees. This one has, if you look, oh. So this one has the same setup I did to the other one. I put food on the feeder. They've eaten almost all of it. They seem kind of chill. Hopefully it's not from being underfed. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here. There we go. Oh, nice cluster. Alright, so this is not as crazy as the first two, but it's still looking great. Let smoker go. Smoke some of these in there. Smoke underneath. Alright, pollen patty and super DFM. These pollen patties are getting messy. That's okay. Doesn't have to be pretty. And the Super DFM. I put it right on top of the bees. I don't know if you're supposed to. That's what I did. Hopefully they'll clean it up fast. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a. Let me see the weight. It's got some weight, but I'll add some more sugar. Better to err on the side of caution. Burying the bees, they just kind of move out of the way. There. That'll be good. Nice. I'll get this cover on. This cover's a little tougher. So I gotta smoke them off the sides. I can't slide it because it's stuck to the bottom of my inner cover. So get them smoking. That actually gets, this gets pretty hot. Sometimes you get burns and such. Here, I'm gonna try this. Go like this. Get this side. And slowly lower it down. Make sure it's on there. There we go. Oh, looks good. I thought I had a bee in my bonnet. Now these two were later in the season. So yeah, these two are later. And this one's just a single deep, this one's double deep. These were all, I did a weird thing. I split a package 3 ways. And these are 2 of them. So I split 1 package, bought 2 extra queens, and April 1st had them delivered, and they all made it. So they're all Italian from Georgia. So this whole yard is either Italians or the descendant of Italians. The swarms, I have a lot of swarms that I've populated. They generally don't make as much honey. This one's looking good. This one has a normal feeder, so I'm gonna give it a little smoke, try to push them down. Let that smoke down a little. And again, I make all my own equipment, including the feeders and such, so kind of get what you get when you make your own. Sometimes slightly imperfect. I'm getting better at it though. I'll show you in another video the thing I made for cutting plywood more accurately based on another person's YouTube video. I'll give them credit when I make that video. But it actually has helped me be a little bit more precise. Alright, so they're sticking a little bit to the underside. I'm going to shake them down a little bit. A little bit. So this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames of bees, which is pretty normal. Pretty normal. The other ones were abnormal with how many they had, so you can't count on that. So we want to get this right above the cluster, like that. Right above. And some Super DFM. There we go, Super DFM. And put the top back on, and then feed them. Now this top's going to want to smush down some underneath that pollen patty, so I got to go slow to give them a chance to get out of the way. There we go. Slow as I go. Alright, we're looking okay on feed. Let me check the weight. A little harder to lift. Oh, this one's super heavy. So that whole, this would be a good candidate for switching boxes. But I'm gonna wait another 2 weeks because it's not as many. If it had a frame or two more, I would have. But I'm not gonna add any more sugar because they got super. We're gonna get a 70-degree day this week. Today's gonna hit 55, hopefully. Get these bees off so I don't crush them. See, this is a winter patty here. And that's just plain sugar. They're not eating too much of the winter patty. So it's probably because they got so much food. But they'll eat that pollen patty because I put it right above the brood nest. Alright. I guess I can start taking off these. We got a really windy day a few days ago. But I could probably start taking off these straps. Although we could get springtime, you sometimes get like 60-mile-an-hour winds sometimes out of nowhere. In which this one, these two heavy bricks would hold it. But they're not propylizing down because of the insulation. So the cover itself isn't propylized really. Alright, that one looks great. It actually does look super. I'm gonna give it a little smoke. I got a guard bee storming me. Bound to happen. Let that smoke work for a minute. This one I gotta pull back a little bit. There we go. Now this one's just a single deep, so sugar and pollen. It's only a single. It's hard to get to that. I'll get it. There's a bunch of bees on top of the. There we go. Come on. All right, pretty good. There's still a little bit of pollen patty from the fall. I see that. No, they might or might not eat it. I'll give them some fresh. Well, that's kind of gross looking. There. That's it. Alright, let's see how they are. Oh, all my sugar. I just made a sugar mess. This in there. Alright, so this just all flipped out. I think they got enough. Let me see how heavy they are. Pretty light. Err on the side of caution and add a little more. So this is the third location of today. There's only 3 hives here. They're kind of in a low-lying area, and there's a little bit of shade. They do get middle of the day sun. It's a kind of a tough spot. They've had some issues here, but all 3 are still alive from last year. They were all started from splits from my bees. The first one was in the end of May, then beginning and middle of June. So we got a double deep, double 6-frame nuke, and a single. The single was a double but got reduced before winter. Guess I can't figure that out. So let's strap this. Now, in the order of good to bad, I'm guessing that this double deep is probably the best. This one probably the second best, and oh, I was missing that. This one probably the third. We'll see if they hold true to what I'm thinking. So, all of them have bees flying in and out, so that's a good sign. Now this one here, I think on this little one, maybe I reduced it inside the box with some foam pieces. I don't recall. It's been months since I've been in it. There are bees, there's sugar. Not a whole lot. Let me check it. None on the undercover, that's kind of good, kind of bad. Alright, so how do I get this off? The way I got it wrapped is kind of tricky. So if I come from over here, pull this down a little. Very small cluster. There's still some of the pollen, or the pollen patty from fall. I'm gonna give them more. So I only see 3 frames of bees. I did reduce this one. It needs some pollen, I think. Let's get on sugar, some super DFM. Get that DFM on there. This one had issues early on. It was the last one I put in here. I believe it was a split from one of my swarms, a late split, like a 2-frame split originally. I'm only gonna put a half a patty on this one. There we go. That's it. It's alive, and that's all that counts. Try not to get all this sugar everywhere like I did just now. There we go. I can put a little more sugar in there. Well, I got lots of sugar for the number of bees I got. I'll leave them. No sugar. Now, if this takes off, maybe this one I'll be adding another box to in 2 or 3 weeks. All right, this one looks great, especially for a double 6-framer. So there we go on that. It's about 45 degrees right now, so it's not too bad for them. So I do see a lot of bees up top. I see about, now they might be in both boxes, I'm not sure, but up top I see a solid 3 frames. So some super DFM. Keep stepping in this muck and slipping around. Luckily I wore my boots. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't. We'll find out. I'm going to give this a half pollen patty too. I do have another, I don't know, what is it, 13 hives at my house to work, but I think I'm only going to have time to work 1 today. Got a date night with my wife, so have to work them tomorrow. And it's actually her hive. I made her a special hive for her birthday last year or 2 years ago. And no more sugar. They're good. There's that. Last one. This one's probably doing the best. Not as good as you'd hope. So I see they got sugar. They're quite a bit. So we got 4.5 frames. I don't know whether they're on the bottom or not, but I bet you this one has weight to it too. Yeah, it's got some weight to it. So that's good. Give them a full patty. Let them start building. Gotta save 1 for my wife's hive. Oh, maybe that's the problem. Alright, give them a half a patty so I have some for my wife's hive. I'll have to make some more tonight. I'll make them a little thicker this time. There's a bee. I hope it's not on the inside. Alright, there we go on that. They got enough weight. I don't have to add anything. And that was an easy one. Only 3 hives though. I'm hoping that I set up another stand here next year and run some nukes here, or this year. So I gotta ask the property owner if that's cool. And if she's watching this video, consider that me asking. So, and I've gotta find at least one more yard to run this year. I'm getting a little crowded. I want to get up to 50 hives this summer. And I got 4 yards, but none of them except for my own yard has a lot of hives, and I don't even have a lot. I could do quite a few more. But there we go. Get the strap back on. This one's done. Spilled a little sugar on the ground. Let's hope nothing gets attracted to it. That's good. I gotta be in me. The little star.